Hey everyone, and welcome back to English Unleashed.
The podcast that helps you speak real, natural English in everyday situations.
In today's episode, we will teach you 50 practical, advanced sentences.
You can use in situations that don't always come up in textbooks.
And here is how it goes. First, we'll say each sentence out loud, then explain what it means, and finally, we'll give you a real situation where it fits naturally. All right, sir, grab your notebook or just listen closely, because these phrases are perfect for sounding fluent,
Polished and natural in English. Ready? Let's dive in. Okay, we will start with texting and digital communication. Here's the first one.
Just saw your message, sorry for the delay. Just saw your message. Sorry for the delay. This means you're acknowledging that you didn't respond right away, but you're replying now.
You can use this when you're following up after being offline, distracted, or simply late in responding. It keeps the tone casual and understanding.
Here comes the next one. Mind if I voice note instead? I'm in a rush. Mind if I voice note instead? I'm in a rush.
This means you're asking if it's okay to send a voice message instead of typing.
You can use this when you're multitasking, maybe driving, walking, or cooking, and want to respond quickly without texting.
All right, here is another useful one.
Feel free to reply whenever. Toe, no pressure. Feel free to reply whenever. No pressure.
This means the person can take their time responding. You can use this when you know someone is busy or stressed and you want to let them know there's no urgency.
Okay, let's keep going. I'll get back to you once I'm out of this meeting.
I'll get back to you once I'm out of this meeting. This means you can't reply right now, but will respond later.
You can use this when you're working or in a formal setting and want to stay polite while delaying your reply.
And here's the next one. LOL, I read that completely wrong at first. LOL, I read that completely wrong at first. This means you misunderstood the message and are laughing about it.
You can use this when a message seemed confusing or funny because you misread it. Helps keep the tone light and playful.
Next one. Let's take this to email pro. It's getting too long for chat.
This means the conversation is getting detailed, and email would be more efficient. You can use this when you're discussing work, logistics, or anything that requires structure, and especially when texting feels chaotic.
Here comes another one. Sorry if that came across the wrong way. No, tone is tricky over text.
Sorry if that came across the wrong way. Tone is tricky over text. Sorry if that...
This means you're clarifying your tone so the other person doesn't misunderstand you. You can use this when you want to avoid offense or tension. Here's one you'll definitely need. I think we're talking past each other. Want to jump on a quick call?
I think we're talking past each other. Want to jump on a quick call?
This means you think there's a miscommunication and want to clarify things directly. You can use this when a text thread is getting messy or Here's the next one. Can you send that again? I think the attachment didn't come through. Can you send that again? I think the attachment didn't come through. This means the file or image they sent didn't appear on your end.
You can use this when
And here's the last one in this section. Hey, just checking in, any update on this?
Hey, just checking in, buddy. Any update on this?
This means you're following up on something without sounding pushy.
You can use this when you're waiting on a reply, especially in work or collaborative settings, and you want to gently remind someone.
All right. In this part, we will teach you sentences about travel and airports.
And here's the first one. Do I need to take my laptop out for this security check?
Oh. Do I need to take my laptop out for this security check? Do I need to take my laptop out for this security check?
This means you're at the security checkpoint and unsure about what items need to be taken out. It helps you avoid delays or getting asked twice.
Here's the next one. Is this the line for international departures?
Is this the line for international departures? This means you're checking if you're standing in the correct queue for flights leaving the country. You can use this when you're navigating a busy airport. Here comes another one. Sorry, I think that might be my seat.
Sorry, I think that might be my seat. This means you believe the person is sitting where your ticket says you should sit.
You can use this when you're boarding a flight or train and someone is mistakenly in your seat. This is a polite way to address it without confrontation. All right, let's keep going. Do you happen to know if there's a water refill station nearby? Do you happen to know if there's a water refill station nearby?
This means you're asking someone if there's a place where you can fill up your bottle. You can use this when you're trying to stay hydrated and avoid buying plastic.
Here's another one. Could you help me lift this into the overhead bin?
Could you help me lift this into the overhead bin? Could you help me lift this into the overhead bin?
This means you're asking for help putting your bag into the compartment above the seats.
You can use this when you have a heavy carry-on and want to avoid injury or struggling in a tight space. This is usually asked of fellow passengers or crew. Next one. My flight's been delayed. Yeah, again. My flight's been delayed again.
This means your flight is running late, possibly for the second or third time. You can use this when you're texting someone who's picking you up or just venting a little frustration. It's conversational and very common when traveling. Here's another one. Would it be possible to switch to a window seat?
Would it be possible to switch to a window seat?
Yes, of course. Right this way.
This means you're asking politely if there's a chance to change your seat. You can use this when you're speaking to staff at the check-in counter.
Okay, let's go with this one. What's the baggage allowance for carry-ons on this airline? What's the baggage allowance for carry-ons on this airline?
This means you're asking how much weight or size is allowed for hand luggage. You can use this when you're about to board or packing and want to make sure you won't be charged extra.
Here's a good one. I've got a really tight connection. Is there any chance I could board first?
I've got a really tight connection at the lot. Is there any chance I could board first?
This means you're explaining that your next flight leaves soon and you'd like priority boarding. You can use this when You're at the gate and
Airline staff are often helpful if you ask nicely. And this is the final one for this part. Sorry, I didn't realize I was in the priority lane. Sorry, I didn't realize I was in the priority lane.
It is quite all right, thank you.
This means you're apologizing for accidentally standing in a lane for premium or business passengers. You can use this when you've joined the wrong queue at check-in, security, or boarding and want to show you didn't mean to skip ahead. Okay, for part 3, we'll teach you sentences about interaction with children.
can you use your words instead of shouting, please?
Can you use your words instead of shouting, please?
This means you're encouraging the child to express their feelings verbally, not by yelling.
You can use this when a child is upset or frustrated and is raising their voice. It helps them shift from emotion to communication.
Here comes another one. Let's try that again, but this time with our inside voices.
Let's try that again, but this time with our inside voices. This means you're asking the child to speak more quietly. You can use this when you're indoors or in a shared space like a classroom or library, and the child is being too loud.
Next one. I love how you figured that out all by yourself.
I love how you figured that out all by yourself. This means you're complimenting their independence and problem solving. You can use this when a child finishes a puzzle, zips up their coat, or solves a challenge without needing help.
Let's go with this. It's okay to feel frustrated, Trainse, but we don't hit.
It's okay to feel frustrated, but we don't hit. This means you're validating their emotion while setting a boundary for behavior.
It teaches emotional regulation without shaming. Here's another one. Let's take a break and come back when you're ready. Let's take a break and come back when you're ready. This means you're giving the child space to calm down.
You can use this when a child is overwhelmed or refusing to cooperate. It's a respectful way to pause conflict without punishment.
Next up, would you like help? Or do you want to try on your own first? Would you like help? Or do you want to try on your own first?
This means you're offering support while encouraging autonomy.
You can use this when a child is attempting something challenging, like tying their shoes or opening a snack. Here's another one. I need you to listen with your whole body, not just your ears.
I need you to listen with your whole body, not just your ears. This means
Listening means being still.
You can use this when a child is easily distracted or not following instructions. It's often used by teachers. Okay, let's try this one. That was a really kind thing to do, say. I'm proud of you. That was a really kind thing to do. I'm proud of you. This means you're praising their good behavior and reinforcing values. You can use this when a child shares, helps someone, or shows empathy. It builds self-esteem and moral awareness. Here's another one. Let's turn that into a learning moment, shall we?
Let's turn that into a learning moment, shall we?
This means you're about to discuss what went wrong and how to do better next time. You can use this when
and the last one in this section. How do you think we can solve this together? How do you think we can solve this together? This means you're inviting the child to collaborate on fixing a problem.
You can use this when there's a conflict, mess, or difficult situation, and you want to empower the child to be part of the solution.
In this part, we will teach you sentences related to working remotely/online collaboration.
And here's the first one. Let me know once you've had a chance to look it over.
Let me know once you've had a chance to look it over. This means you're asking someone to review something and get back to you when they're ready.
You can use this when you've sent a document, report, or draft to a colleague and want to be respectful of their schedule.
Here's the next one. Would you mind if I shared my screen for a moment?
Would you mind if I shared my screen for a moment? This means you're politely asking permission to present something during a video call.
You can use this when you're on Zoom, Teams, or Google Meet and want to walk others through a file or task. Let's go with this. I'll drop the link in the chat.
You can use this when you're referring to something tougher, a folder, or an article, and you want to make it accessible quickly.
Here's another one. Just circling back on this any updates.
Just circling back on this, any updates. This means you're politely reminding someone about a task or message without sounding pushy.
You can use this when you're waiting on a reply or action item and want to follow up professionally.
Here's a helpful one. Sorry, you were on mute. Could you repeat that?
Sorry, you were on mute. Could you repeat that? This means the person was speaking, but their microphone was off.
You can use this when someone starts talking on a call but no one can hear them. It's common and usually lighthearted.
Let's try this one. Can we move this conversation to email?
Can we move this conversation to email?
This means you want to continue the discussion more privately or in a better format. You can use this when a topic in a group chat or call is getting too complex, sensitive, or long for real-time chat.
Next one. I've updated the document with all the latest changes.
I've updated the document with all the latest changes. This means you've revised a shared file and want others to know it's current.
You can use this when you're collaborating on something live, like a Google Doc, spreadsheet, or team planner, and want to keep everyone aligned.
Here's another common one. Can we quickly sync up after this?
Can we quickly sync up after this? This means you're suggesting a short follow-up discussion after the current meeting. You can use this when you want to clarify something with a colleague without dragging out the team meeting.
Okay, and that's a wrap for today's episode. About 50 powerful sentences you can actually use in real life, not just in a classroom.